follow the leader.
All right, here we are, and what I want to do right now is I've been requested to do a tutorial on just mining, and in this one I'm just going to focus solely on laser mining, and I just want to I'm fairly new at this, so and I've amassed a little bit of credit, so I'm able to afford an Imperial Cutter, and also I've worked on the rank. So this build is going to be specifically for the Imperial Cutter, and we're going to go through the build here in a second as soon as we get loaded up. And if anybody wants to mine, just give me a message, let me know what's up, and we'll go out and do some mining, and I'll kind of shadow you, and then I'll do some mining and you'll do some mining, or we both mine together, or whatever. I don't care. I honestly believe that if people are working together in this game, we could get a lot further in this. I really enjoy this game, and I know a lot of you do too. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get to the build here as soon as we get this going, and I guess here we go, and go into solo here, and then that way I'm not bothered by anything, and then we'll go through. Like I said, I'm using the Imperial Cutter, and this build cost me about 700-ish, about 730 million creds. I didn't go too crazy on it. So we're going to go to outfitting. You're going to go through the different, I'm not using much power. Of course, I've got an abrasion blaster just in case, I don't really need it. I don't really have to have it, but I only have 4 2D miners. I only really need 3, because if I use 4, it heats up pretty bad. So I've got one of them disabled. But for now, I just got the mining lasers, and that's it. Nothing else. Going to utilities, only got a pulse wave analyzer and 2-point defense located at the bottom, so they're pointing at the top. I tend to fly, going upwards if I'm getting attacked. So basically here, got an 8A power plant, 8A thrusters, 7A frame shift drive, engineered of course, 7D life support for the weight management, Guardian hybrid power distributor, 7D sensors, and the standard fuel tank. So this is pretty standard stuff. You're more than welcome to copy this build. I have a lot of fun with it. And for my optional, got 2 256 AE cargo racks, fuel scoop, definitely, 6C bow-weave shield generator engineered, 5A collector limpets, 3 of them, because that'll give me 9 total. Empty military compartments to save on weight, 4A refinery, but I'm going to be changing that soon. And a 3A Prospector limpet. Always pick an A-rated Prospector limpet. And of course a detailed surface scanner and planetary approach suite, doesn't matter. But yeah, definitely have an A Prospector limpet. And that's pretty much it for the build on that part. Alright, so what I'm doing here is, this is just raw video that I've taken, and I'm just kind of overdubbing it with my voice, because I don't want you to hear my mechanical keyboard clicking over and over again. But essentially, you can see on this build, I've got collectors working pretty hard on this. Essentially, you keep them all out, and then what I'm doing in this particular area is, I'm going up to each rock that I find, and popping a Prospector on it to see what it has in it. And for the A rating, you'll get about 3.5 times more product coming out when you're mining, when you're actually shooting it with your mining laser. So I haven't really determined on like what size to look out for, or what type of rock out there. So I mean, I've seen small ones, I've seen really large ones, you know, have a lot of stuff in it. So I haven't really figured out a pattern to that yet. And the pulse wave doesn't do any good, so you don't really have to use a pulse wave on this. But just find a rock. And if you're just starting out, I would say find a rock that's not spinning at all. And it's okay if they're spinning a little bit. If the rock is spinning too fast, and you'll probably see that here shortly, is that your collectors, well, they kind of get caught in the rock, and you have to make another collector, and that's not good. So try to find rocks that are not spinning, like in this one. It's not spinning very fast, and you're able to get the lasers in there and do what needs to be done. And in this one, I've got all 4 lasers turned on, and you can obviously see that my heat is building up like quick. So later on, I disable the rightmost laser, and now I don't even overheat at all. So I've got to figure that out. But for now, 3 lasers is okay. You can see, I'm processing fragments, and also placement of your ship. If you look at the 3D radar at the bottom, you'll see that they're having to traverse a long way to get to the fragments. So if you can shorten the distance it takes your collectors to get back to your cargo scoop, then that's better. It's a lot better. But hey, that's what they do. If you're busy with other things. Also, if you'll notice, I had a prospector on one, and then I'm shooting a prospector in another. I've got a prospector that has 2 separate limpets, so I'm able to have 2 active prospector limpets, so I can see, I don't waste a whole lot of time. So you can see right here, this one has about 10%, and the material content is low, so I'm not going to get much product out of it, but it's better than my collectors sitting around doing nothing. Most people will mine 15% or higher, and a lot of people, they don't even touch the low content. They usually go for the medium or the high if it has what they're looking for. In this case, I've got low temperature diamonds. But I tell you what, though, placement is everything, and where you shoot your laser in reference to the asteroid makes a huge difference in how the fragments come out and how your collectors are going to get your product in. So yeah, this is essentially all this is just making sure that you've got all your collectors active. Make sure you're prospecting each individual rock that you think might have the fragments that you're looking for, and essentially it's just hit or miss. Also, one thing I like to do is when I'm in a asteroid field like this, you'll notice I've got a target, and that target is the next field, the next hotspot over, and that kind of gives me an indication of which way to go through the asteroid field, so I don't do any duplicates or anything like that. So it just kind of helps. So right here I've shot a prospector at one small one and one large one, and this one, this small one has a low material content, but it has a higher percentage of fragments coming out that are going to be low temperature diamonds. So obviously, apparently, you want to go for that. So just you can see how I'm pointed at the rock. So when I'm shooting the laser, the fragments are going to come out directly under and below my ship. So my collectors just sit there cha-ching, cha-ching, ching, ching, ching. I mean, it'll just constantly keep grabbing them. So, that's sort of what you want with laser mining. You don't want to do anything crazy and have your fragments scattered all over the place. So right here I'm selecting the other Prospector to see what it's got in it, because I didn't look at it, and it's doesn't have much in it. It's got like 4%. Low temperature diamonds. I'm having to abandon some limpets because I'm running out of cargo space, and my refinery's probably getting full. So I'm probably gonna, I might as well go ahead and mine this one since I've already got it prospected, and it shows material content low, so I'm not going to get much out of this, but I'll get enough to offset the cost of my collectors being out. So that's one of the things you have to consider with mining is you don't want your collectors sitting there doing nothing. So try to keep them busy, even if it's low content asteroids. Pop them with your laser, let your collectors do the mining, and then start prospecting other asteroids. And it's boring. It's a lot. It's really boring, but after about 2 or 3 hours of doing this, you'll have a full cutter, 512 tons plus whatever's in your refinery, and you can have a pretty good time with it. Right now in this cutter, I'm getting over a $500 million per trip. So about a $500 million every 3 hours and 45 minutes. So it's not too bad. It'd be nicer if I had people to mine with so we could talk and shoot the crap or whatever, while we're doing all this. But mostly I listen to music or watch my TV show or something in the background while I'm doing this, so it's all good. And eventually I'm kind of working on getting about 20 billion saved up, getting ready for fleet carriers. So that's what I'm doing. So if you guys want to mine with me and shoot the crap and do stuff like this and try to ease some of the boring out of it, message me. I'm on Inara. You can catch me. I'm Silovybin, PSILOVYBIN, and I'm not hard to miss. So message me and let's do some mining or whatever you want. Whatever we can get into. So anyway, hope y'all found this video very informative, and if you have any questions, let me know, or if you have any constructive criticism about what I could be doing better, please leave a message. Talk to you later.